If you struggle with rushing through your life, thinking you're behind, thinking there's a certain timeline for you, thinking like, why don't I have this yet? And why can't I be like that yet? And you're just always comparing yourself to other people. I wanted to speak to this because this is something that I get caught up in so often. It's something that I'm really trying to become aware of, because I think when we get stuck in this loop and this comparison trap and feeling like somehow we're doing life wrong and our timing is off or we're not far enough ahead yet, the only thing we're doing when we give our energy to this narrative is like we are wasting our precious energy. We're essentially discrediting the present moment, discrediting our own paths, and allowing something outside of ourselves, which is usually societal pressures or what other people are doing or what we've been told is like the right way to do things. We're giving all our power away to something outside of us. And I really feel like when we do this, not only do we get in our own way, but we're just kind of like draining our life force. Because imagine if you woke up every single day. This is something that I think about a lot. Imagine if you woke up every single day and you just had full trust in your journey, like exactly where you're at is exactly right, and that everything you desire, everything you want to create, everything you're trying to call into your life, it's already happened. Like it's going to happen, it's just a matter of when. Having this belief of it's not if, it's when it's going to come into my life, when the miracles are going to happen, when all the possibilities are going to come at me, right? Like imagine how we would operate from that space every single day. We wouldn't worry, we wouldn't stress, we wouldn't compare ourselves, we wouldn't get caught up in all the ways we're not worthy or we're not enough or we're not doing enough, we're not productive enough, right? Like we would, of course, like we would still need to take action steps, but we would do it in such an aligned, authentic, genuine way, because we would know that, okay, like it's already happened and I don't need to force it, I don't need to push it, I don't need to rush it. I can just simply trust that it will find me and it will come into my life when it's right. And the lessons that I'm learning right now and the things I'm going through and the part of my journey I'm on now is exactly right. And it's going to help me become the person who can hold space for everything that I desire. This is like a mindset I'm really trying to step into, because I know, and if you understand like the law of attraction and, you know, magnetism and how the universe works, like when we operate from this neediness place, when we operate from like, I really want this and I don't have it yet, and why don't I have it yet, and when is it going to happen, we're separating ourselves from the experience or from having the thing or from feeling the certain way. And if we're separate from it, then we're living in this space of lack. So even though we might think, oh, well, like if I think about wanting something, it's going to come my way. But the wanting, in a way, is us being reminded that we don't have it yet. So it's kind of like counterintuitive in that sense, because if we're operating from a space in our subconscious of like, I don't have this yet, so I want it, and I'm in lack of it, then we're still kind of like operating from this vibrational frequency of lack, which is like mind-blowing when you think about it, because we can still want something and desire something and want to create something while having a different energy with it. I really believe that if we have the energy of trust and letting go and surrendering to the fact that, yes, like this is going to come into my life, or this is like what I'm going to create, whatever it is, it really does have to start with just trusting and knowing, okay, like I'm going to choose to be that person who would have those things today, and not waiting for the external event or thing to happen for us to finally feel a certain way. So when I think about how often I personally compare myself to others, or I'm like, oh, like, why aren't I doing it like they're doing it? Or why aren't I as successful as them? Or why am I not as smart or far along, or whatever it is? It's just like, we're really operating from and igniting this energy of, I don't have that, I'm in lack of that, I'm in scarcity of that. And like, it's almost a subconscious thing of too, like, I might never have that, and it's scary. So we're operating from a place of fear too. And there are so many examples that when you think about celebrities or authors or just well-known people in history, some of them did not, you know, get to that level of success until they were 50 years old, 60 years old, even 70 years old. And almost every single person that I've ever heard of, like when they reach this certain level of success at an older age, like they all just say, I fell in love with the journey. I fell in love with the process of where I knew I wanted to get to. And actually the journey and the process of just like figuring out and making mistakes and being kind of in that space of, whoa, when is it gonna happen? Like those were actually the funnest years for them. Even you hear a lot about like actors or musicians, like when they were barely scraping by, living in their cars, trying to make it, those are like their most cherished years because they had the most fun and they were just doing it for the sole purpose of it's a passion of theirs and they love it and they want to reach more people or make a bigger impact. And I really believe that our energy behind an intention is everything. So instead of comparing ourselves, instead of feeling behind, instead of thinking, oh, I'm doing life wrong or I'm not where I'm supposed to be by someone else's standards, how can we just like not only enjoy the process and fall in love with the journey, but how can we just start to live from this energetic space of like, it's already happened. Like everything that I desire has already happened. It already exists. Like, I feel like that changes so much. I feel like that totally, like for me, when I say that, it totally shifts my energy. Instead of feeling like I'm never gonna have it, or this person does it better than me, or I'm already too old, I'm too far behind, like, yeah, well then it's probably never gonna happen. But if you just started to be like, yeah, it's happened. I desire it because it already exists. And this is another law of attraction, is like the fact that you want something so badly and you do desire something, it already exists in another reality. What you want also wants you. So you want it because it's already there, which is really cool to think about too. Because also think about you as a specific individual with all your unique interests, experiences, specialties, what lights you up. There's a reason for that. Not everyone has the same passions. Not everyone craves the same things or loves the same things. Like, we are all so unique, and there's a reason you desire what you desire, because it's already in another reality for you. It's already there. We just have to kind of sidestep and become that version of ourselves who can have that thing. But it all starts with changing our energy. And I really believe that if we are caught up in the comparing, lack, fear mindset, which I'm being honest, I get stuck in it too sometimes, but just being aware of it, be mindful of it, be aware of it so we can rewrite it. If we do get stuck there, one of the most empowering things we can start to like ignite within ourselves is shifting our energy towards possibility, towards the fact that it's already there waiting for me. It's already happened. It's already coming my way. Like, I just have to trust and lean in and surrender, which those are often the hardest things to do, but just leaning into it, taking the action steps daily, not forcing, but, you know, showing up as the person you want to become. I think that this energy shift can really change not only the way we view things, but the way we attract and magnetize those things in our lives. So curious if that resonates, because for me, just being aware of this, obviously I'm not perfect and sometimes I still, you know, I'm human, I get stuck in my own head, but just being aware of where is my energy going? Okay, it's going to the comparison. Let me quickly reframe that and remind myself that everything I desire is waiting for me and it's already there. It totally shifts the energy. If this is something that you're really into, if you're wanting to build more self-confidence, change your energy, and just really become mindful of how you can start to empower yourself in your life more, I'm actually hosting a free 3-day self-confidence challenge at the end of April. I'd love to have you inside. We're going to talk exactly about these concepts. We're going to have live videos for the 3 days, and it's absolutely time that we reclaim our power.